Welcome back to one of my favorite sports podcasts, Frizz and the Grizz, with your host Trudeau and my guy, Frizzy Frizz.
Hello and welcome back to Frizz and the Grizz. It's your boy Trudeau. Thank you for joining us live Monday, March 9th. You can catch us live on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook. Check out that Twitch handle at Frizzy_Frizz5, or check us next day on podcast, Apple, Spotify, all those good places. Show your boys some love. Click the buttons, rate, subscribe, review. All right, little rundown of what we're going to talk about today. NFL free agency opened up today, Monday, March 9th. So there's been some transactions. We're going to cover some of the big ones for you on the show. Also, we're going to talk a little NBA. Not too much, but there's been a couple interesting things since we last spoke, so we'll get into those. But first, D, what it do, man?
What up, man? Happy Monday, huh? What a start to the week. Was that too loud?
No, I just, I haven't gotten used to like how good your mic is now. So like before the show, I didn't notice at all, but it's kind of weird. Like it's like riding a bike, muscle memory. So like when we do this podcast, I go through the whole spiel at the beginning, so it feels very robotic. And then usually you cut in, right? So like I'm used to hearing a certain tone, sound from your voice when you say what up, like what up, what up, what up. And it just came in so nice. I was like, damn.
Nice. That brother clear now. Appreciate. Hey man, when we say rate, comment, review, subscribe, all those things, all the transactions that transpire for Frizz and the Grizz or DFrizzy_Frizz on Twitch, it all goes into the equipment. And so a nice little early gift to myself, with the help of you all, it was a new mic. And it sounds, at least when I was listening to myself on PlayStation, I haven't listened to myself on a stream yet, but it sounds great. And I'm hoping that it continues to sound great for you all, not just my co-host, but for our viewers as well.
Yeah, I feel a little inferior now with
that big of a difference, huh? Really?
Nah. It's all good. It's all good. And by the way, for those who are fans of the show, every year we've done in March, we've done our own March Madness tournament. Let's recap what we've done before. The first one was the TV show theme songs, right?
Was that the first year?
I think that was the first year. Yeah, we did it.
Okay. Yep.
We did TV show theme songs. We did 64 teams that year, which was a monster. And then we did, what did we do last year? Couldn't have been that memorable.
No. The first one was the best rapper of all time.
Oh, we did the best rapper of all time. TV show theme songs.
And TV show. And then last year, I feel like I know there was voting. And we don't have X anymore. No, it was a good one. I'll look for it while we do it.
Okay. Well, this year we're bringing it back. I think we've landed on the topic. We're kind of figuring out our seating right now. We're going to do animated kids movie soundtracks. So, like for example, your Lion King soundtrack, Kanto is on the list, K-pop Demon Hunters, like those sorts of animated shows for youngins, because we have little ones, so we have to watch them all. 32 teams will enter the tournament, and we're going to find what soundtrack is the best of all time.
So I have a breakdown of all three that we've done.
Okay.
2023, we did the top TV theme songs of all time.
That was my favorite, by the way.
That was a good one. 2024, we did the greatest rapper of all time. Yep. I think in lieu of, there was a battle between Drake and Kendrick at the time. So like we were pretty relevant. And then last year was the best one-hit wonders of all time.
Oh, okay. I remember that now. Who won that? Do you remember?
I'd have to go back and look, but it was like Call Me Maybe was up there.
I think that won it.
It might have. I think it might have won.
Yeah, that was a fun one too. So these are always fun. It's always a good time. And I think it gives us an opportunity to just kind of play around, listen to some music, whether it be rap or whatever. So that's fun.
I'm all for it. It's gonna be good to see where the crowd votes. Because when we did our draft, obviously there were some people slanted towards the older type movies, and then there were others that were slanted towards like the newer generation music movies. So like really interested to see how everybody goes. If they're like, no, Tarzan got the best soundtrack of all time. Tarzan's is actually pretty fire if you go listen to it. It's like, I wonder if
he crushed that.
Phil Collins goes in. Like, he didn't have to go that hard on those tracks, but like, do you like Phil Collins or do you like The Lion King? What up?
You just blew my mind.
What's up? With Tarzan having one of the best soundtracks of all time? It does.
No, it's an inside joke in my household. It's super inside, just us three, where my wife said to my daughter one day, Phil Collins didn't have to go that hard, but he did anyways. And my daughter would just keep saying that. and she went to preschool and said that to like people. And you just said Phil Collins. You said that almost verbatim what she said, which is just
Phil Collins didn't have to go that hard on that soundtrack. Yes, because that has been said in this household numerous times while we're watching that movie. Like, damn, song is really good.
We're living the same life, man.
Facts. Yes.
So I'm excited for that. We'll get that going next week. But what we should do is get going because I know we have a time crunch today. So let's talk some NFL. So we got the official free agent tracker, which is just Darian because he loves NFL football. He just tracks it all. But what do you want to kick us off on with the NFL free agent movement?
So there's been some big moves. Obviously, we don't. You want to talk the trades first, or you want to talk the free agency?
Let's talk the free agency.
Okay, so big time names, free agent wise, at least contract. We saw Jalen Phillips, D tackle / D edge for the Eagles, go over to the Panthers. When a team like the Panthers makes a move and paying this dude $120 million for 4 years, they're pushing their chips to the middle of the table, right? Like we saw them get to the first round of the playoffs with Bryce last year, an exciting battle against the Rams. They came up short, but like I've mentioned many times since that playoff run that they had, I know it's just one game, but like the run from week 12 through the first round of the playoffs, like that team, that city was electric. And I think they saw and found something with the younger head coach that they got. Bryce Young finally has some stability. Ted McMillan became a prime-time threat on the outside. Now, like, you know what? Let's build around what we have. And when teams spend $120 million on an edge, it's because they think they got something, especially out there in the NFC South. So I think that's a hell of a pickup for them. And I'm not going to say that they're a Super Bowl contender, but they're going to give problems with Baker Mayfield, whoever the hell, Tua in Atlanta now, and who's a quarterback? Tyler Shuck. Like that's a player that changes games.
Yeah, I feel like the Panthers, they had a pretty good DB room. Like their cornerbacks were the strength of that defense. Mm-hmm. And all year their weakness was their defensive line. So they needed the help, and it definitely is a move where it's like, again, like you said, are they a Super Bowl contender? No. But it's why the hell not type of move, because they probably look at the NFC South and say, hey, this could be our division to win the next 3 years. We could be the Buccaneers, right? Because the Bucs won it like 4 years in a row, 5 years in a row.
Yep.
And they're looking around the landscape, and I get the move. I'm not going to criticize it. We'll see how it pans out. NFL salary cap's just an illusion anyways. So, like, why not?
Yeah. So that one caught my eye, obviously, because it's like, all right, this is a younger team. They bring in somebody like this to see what they can do next. Go ahead.
No, also, by the way, on the flip side, like we're going to say good move for the Panthers, but what's up with the Eagles now? Because like they had a rough year last year. Now they're bleeding. Their defense when they won the Super Bowl was their strength. And now they're starting to bleed that talent.
So they didn't just lose Jalen Phillips. They ended up losing one of their starting safeties, I believe, or was it Reed Blankenship?
Yeah.
He went to Houston, albeit, he still got paid 3 years, $25 million. So like solid, $8.5 million per year. But that's a defensive player. And when you start gutting, this is what happens is teams like the Eagles, they go on a run, they win their championship. You start to lose your coordinators, then you start to lose your players because people want to get paid. And it's like, how can you stay consistent and make those runs year after year after year? If you're losing these players, you got to have people step up, and it's not an easy thing to do. So I think you losing two key pieces from your Super Bowl championship team, it's going to make it a little bit harder. Not to say that the gap is going to, get smaller between the Cowboys and the Eagles. I really don't think it is, but it's not going to be easier for you to just run that division.
And I know we're going to overlook them, but don't forget about the Commanders as well. I mean, if JD comes back and he's healthy, who knows? It's weird because like teams have done that. Like the Chiefs, right? Like the Chiefs have been good for just about a decade at this
10 years. Point. We'll say 10 years.
Yeah. And yeah, you do lose talent. You got to rebuild at times, but there are three things that you can do to solidify that. You have a quarterback, like an excellent quarterback, which I'm not sold on Hurts right now. You have an excellent GM who can make the right moves in the draft, which I do believe the Eagles can do that. Then you need to have a good head coach to develop talent and utilize guys and get the most out of them. And I have zero confidence in the Eagles doing that. So like, sure, they could maybe bring in some talent through the draft and other maneuvers, but they're not going to replace all the talent they lost in Philadelphia. And do I trust the coach to develop and get the most out of everyone? Absolutely not. Huge step back.
Yeah, I would say it's even bigger now. Again, this I'm reading this full time, real time. You know, I try to get the updates. So, like, obviously, remember the big Jalen Carter sign, not Jalen Carter, the signing with the Panthers, but they also lost Nakobe Dean. Now that we're talking about the Eagles, which was their like third leading tackler on the team, like a linebacker. You lose an edge, you lose a linebacker, you lose a safety.
That's a lot.
That's a lot in one off season. Not to say that it can't be replaced by any means, but like that is a lot of leadership or players that made a difference during your Super Bowl runs. Cause like it wasn't like they were one and done. Like they were in the Super Bowl 2 years prior to the one that they won because of their defense. So like, yeah, they took a year off and then won a championship. So like these pieces that they're losing, these younger talented players, because it's time for them to get paid. Now we see if the GM is actually a good GM and can find more talent in the draft, because that's what they were leaning on the last couple of years.
Well, and they were leaning on their offensive line, and they are all getting older, and guys are retiring. You know, as you get older in that position, you're going to lose effectiveness. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't know what they won last year. Were they 11-win team last year? 11 or 12?
I'd have to double check. Let me check for you. 11-6.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're like a 9-win team this year. Would you?
No, because again, I don't think the gap is shrinking that much, but all it takes is for one game that you were supposed to win for you to lose. And now you're 10-7, right? And then you're 9-8. So like, it's not like that's out of the realm of possibilities with that team.
AJ Brown too.
AJ Brown is still on that team right now.
Okay. For now, we'll see what happens with that. All right. Well, I didn't mean to derail us and go talk about the Eagles.
Oh, you're good. You're good. We saw re-signing Alec Pierce, which is a very strange one to me. 4 years, 115 mil, staying in Indy.
Tell me the Alec Pierce thing. Can you tell me about
Can they tell you?
Well, because
I don't understand. They traded Michael Pittman, so like he's essentially, I guess, their number one now. But
that's what
I thought he was just a slot wide receiver for some reason.
Has there been anything about Alec Pierce that made you think this is a dude? Because I'm up in New England, and like all the talk's been like, oh, we lost Stephon Diggs, we need to get Alec Pierce. And I'm like, really? That's what we're doing? Like that's how we're viewing Alec Pierce at this point? I mean, I know like New England has a proclivity towards white wide receivers, so I get their excitement. But still, it's like I didn't realize he was that coveted.
Slim pickings for faster wide receivers right now. Healthy. Tyreek Hill is still out there. We just saw Mike Evans get picked up. He's not fast by any means, but like those types of players are few and far between right now. The players that got signed alongside of a Alec Pierce, which I would put them above, Isaiah Hodgins, no idea who the hell he is in New York. Olumide Zaccheaus, he's shown a few times in Atlanta. Kendrick Bourne, he's now a ship man. He went from New England to San Francisco. Now he's in Arizona. Jalen Naylor was a former Eagle. Then he was a Viking. Now he's a Raider. So like these are a lot of journeymen that like he's the best out of them. You know what I mean? Like survival of the fittest type of thing, because then it's Wan'Dale Robinson and Mike Evans. Rashid Shaheed, should he have gone somewhere else, probably would have been a competitive, but he just won a Super Bowl in Seattle and he re-signed with Seattle. So like he's the best of the available wide receivers, which is the reason why he was coveted, but it doesn't mean that he was like, he's not, I don't think he's really like that. He had 1,000 yards receiving. Okay. But like, I didn't see anything special that would make me think like, I know we don't have to talk fantasy wise, but like, I wouldn't draft him in like the top 2 or 3 rounds. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, again, like I have a tough time with NFL stuff, right? Like I am a big NBA guy, and it's easy in the NBA. It's like, you get signed, 4 years, 100 million, guaranteed 25 million a year, no cutting them. You owe that money. There's no incentives. I don't know what the contract for Alec Pierce looks like. Like it could be riddled with incentives, and it's actually not as big of a number as we think. But it just, if he gets all that money, I feel like it's going to be a disappointment for the Colts. Like that's not going to give you value.
Not at the wide receiver position when you need a quarterback. Like, that's what I don't understand. Like they're still going back and forth between they had Joe Flacco out there, then they had Phillip Rivers out there, and they have Richardson on roster still. Like what is your actual goal as a quarterback. Sorry, Daniel Jones. I said Joe Flacco. They had Daniel Jones, then Phillip Rivers and Riley Leonard, who we saw. Like, there's nothing on that team that would make me be like, let's spend $27 million a year on Alec Pierce.
No, I don't get the direction of that team. And
So
we don't even know.
Was a head scratcher.
We don't know when Daniel Jones is going to come back, and do they have a formidable backup at this point? To like,
we saw, it's not going to be Phillip Rivers, and we saw what Riley Leonard looks like. Yeah, it's right. That's what you have as your team.
Okay, sure.
Again, you got the money, I guess, spend it, but like it's just weird to bring at that number to bring him back.
I do wonder if they had a little bit of fool's gold last year with their running back situation. Like he'd been injured several years. He never had a season like he had last year. And I wonder if they're a little bit, if they have a little fool's gold and like they think they can have the same formula, a strong run game and kind of just do a little bit in the air, good defense, and it might just all fall apart. Like
potentially, it's still a lot to rely on for an Alec Pierce. That's a lot of money. Yeah. I'm not knocking for the guy getting his bread, hell of an agent, but like that to me is a very strange. That's a lot of money. Like 26 million a year. That's like what you see from an AJ Brown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't. That's a lot of money, at least to me.
You know what that makes me think? There's going to be a lot of wide receivers around the league looking at their agents after that and being like, "Needs to talk to the team." Yeah.
That's what it does. Speaking of positions that like kind of head scratchers, running backs got paid between 12 and 15 mil. Travis Etienne is now a Saint. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I would prefer, if you're going to spend the money, sure, I would prefer them draft a younger running back that like we haven't seen the ceiling from. We've seen Travis Etienne's ceiling, right? Like what he did out in Jacksonville. I don't think he's just going to get that much better being behind a rookie second year quarterback now and a younger offensive line.
So what goes on with Kamara then?
Kamara's still there. I'm hoping going to just retire versus trade. I don't know what his trade value is coming off of an injury year, but I don't think the Saints organization should trade him. Like he doesn't deserve to, him or Cam Jordan. I don't think those are players that like you just trade, but if it happens, it happens. I know Cam Jordan's testing free agency anyway.
How many years did Etienne get?
Etienne got 4. Let me guarantee that one though. Yeah, 4 years, 52 mil. I don't like it at all. 13 million.
I don't know how much is guaranteed because the NFL, but like I hate that signing because if I think about Etienne, like he was pretty much a bust in Jacksonville up until this year. Like people were super sour on Etienne, and this was his first healthy year, like in his entire career. And now we're back on Etienne. Like we've seen more than half of his seasons, cut short from injury. He's played maybe half of the games, more than half the games twice in his career. Like, I don't know, man. That just seems like disaster written all over me. Good for Jacksonville though, because like they're moving off of him. I liked Bijal Tootin. Like I was a big Tootin guy last year. He ran like a 4.28 or 4.29 40. Guy's super fast, athletic. He was splitting time. I get it for them. Like Etienne probably went.
You got him under contract, yes.
Yeah, Etienne's probably like, "Hey, you're gonna pay me?" They're like, "No, we got this guy for cheap. We're good."
Okay. Which happens. That's the NFL. The other one is it's Super Bowl MVP Ken Walker is with the Chiefs now. I don't know if you caught that one.
I did not catch that.
Caught me off guard. Yeah, so like they brought back Rashid Shaheed. Obviously, they valued more of the wide receiver that you bring with Shaheed. Obviously, explosiveness on kick and punt return. We saw that help them win a Super Bowl, but also taking the top off of the defense with Sam Darnold. And then you have, as a running back, Charbonnet. You know what I'm saying? What good. Seattle is coming off of an injury, though. Remember, ACL injury is not just an automatic. But what Seattle has notoriously been good at is finding running backs. So, like, how can you blame them for letting him walk? It's weird to be like, I just won the Super Bowl and I was the MVP, but I'm not back on my team the next season. Strange world for that to happen, but like if I'm Seattle, I guess I understand because they have a history of finding running backs. I don't even think Ken Walker was a draft pick in the first 2 rounds. He might have been later than that. Don't quote me on it, but I'll check.
He was a first round running back.
Was he a first round running back?
He was late first. I want to say
I'll double check. You could be right. It's just on my end, I'm like,
Maybe the second round. I don't know, but go ahead.
they find ways to get running backs. So like I understand why they would keep Charbonnet over him. He was second round 41st pick. So like middle of the second round. So
The Chiefs, that was an aggressive move. I would have loved it if they had Mahomes for the full year. Because that's what like their run game was absolute dog shit last year, the Chiefs.
so bad.
Part of it was the offensive line, but also I think the numbers like bore out that like DVOA for the running back. So like basically saying expected yards per carry, they were negative. Like they were producing less than like what is expected per carry, the two running backs they had last year for the Chiefs. So like yeah, Kenneth Walker is a huge upgrade. Again, like it's another guy, and I know it's a running back position, so like who knows? You can say this about anybody, but like Kenneth Walker does have a laundry list of injuries. So we'll see how it goes. It's like you have an injured running back. Mahomes isn't going to be there till maybe December. It's like where you could find yourself if you're the Chiefs at like below 500 by the time Mahomes comes back and no Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, which puts you in a tough spot.
I don't know. What's your position, by the way, on paying running backs? Because here's my stance on this. It's like unless you're super special, like you're McCaffrey, you're Saquon,
top five,
you're Bijan Robinson, like one of those guys. I think you could just find replacement level production.
If I get both the receiving and the running game out of one guy, I'll pay one. But if I have dual system because Ken Walker doesn't have good hands, you need to. That's how it comes. Like that's what they did. Is Ken Walker could not catch the ball, so like they couldn't have him in there on passing downs. He couldn't run block worth a damn either. Charbonnet could. So like you do need to for that team. They need it too. But am I keeping Tyler Algier and Bijan Robinson? No, let Algier walk because Robinson can catch out of the backfield. I don't need to pay him, and that's what they did.
Like Kenneth Walker had a hell of a run in the playoffs. I'm thinking back to the season because like we play fantasy, so we kind of track like how guys are performing.
Yep.
If I remember correctly, like the majority of the year, Kenneth Walker was very mid.
He's always been a running back 8 to running back 12.
Yeah,
he's always been since he's played in the league. Hit one game, he could get you 40 points. The next game, he'll get you 6.
I mean, good for him getting the accolades and getting paid. I don't know how it's gonna work out long term for the Chiefs, but okay.
Two big ones, and then we can move on because everything else is kind of just they got signed. Good for them. First one for me, which I'm just proud. I'm happy for this guy, and I hope it works out well because who knows what's going on down in Miami. Your boy Malik Willis got signed, going from Tennessee as a drafted backup to Green Bay, showing out for a couple of years. Go ahead.
Don't tell me the number because I've heard numbers floated before. You know me, like when it's basketball season, I turn off NFL. So like this is a lot of news to me. Don't tell me the number because I've heard the number floated around, and I want to throw out the floated around number, see if it's higher or lower. I heard he was looking, and people were saying it's possible. Don't be shocked if he was getting in the $30 million a year range. Lower, okay,
much lower. I think this is a great value contract if I'm Miami. 3 years, 67 total, 22.5 per.
Okay,
I mean, it's a great value for that type of quarterback.
Why not?
This is a show me. This is a show me contract, which if you can get 2 good years, 2 good runs out of him, I don't think they win the AFC East, obviously. But if you can be competitive and put something worthwhile out there as a product at your quarterback position, because we've seen what Tua's done. He's gone now, but we've seen what he's done. Why not? Why not pay him $23 million a year? Get 2 seasons out of him and go, you know what? We're not going to let you walk. We're going to surround you with the pieces that I think we can. Like, he's not old, 25, 26 years old. Yeah, he's a mobile quarterback, but we saw when he was in Green Bay in those couple games he subbed in for Jordan Love. Like, he wasn't just looking to scramble. He was putting up 200, 300 yards passing, like, with running for 100 yards. So, like, this is a perfect contract for him because he was a castaway, third quarterback out in Tennessee. They didn't know how to use him wrongfully. You know what I'm saying? Like, they put in Will Levis. Come on. And then they traded for him. Yeah, they did trade for him in Green Bay. And then he backed up Jordan Love. And I know Jordan Love's ceiling. When Malik Willis went out there, people were like, well, hold on a minute. Like, when he's healthy, do we start Willis or do we bring back Love? Like, that's the conversation that was had because of it. And look what it did. It led to him getting a $23 million contract. Like,
Yeah.
I'm all for that. I love this one for Miami.
I'm happy for him. I think it's a fair contract because, like you said, he did look great in flashes, but the sample size is small. I think he plays like 4 or 5 games max for Green Bay. So it's like a small sample size. And they probably can just get out of it after 2 years if it doesn't work out and draft a quarterback. It's
45
crazy.
guaranteed for us too. So yes, you're right.
It's crazy to think like the Miami experience. Like they had Fitzpatrick, right? They were tanking for Tua. They got Tua. He looked great. He was up and down concussions, and then eventually they cut him free. They eat like $90 million in dead cap money from cutting Tua. It's wild.
They broke the record.
With what happened over Miami, like the rise and fall, it's insane.
Oh yeah, Miami breaking the record. It's not a record you ever want to break, but breaking the record for most dead cap money eaten as a franchise in the history of the NFL. That's not something that you ever want to write home about. That sucks as a team. But
by the way, can I pivot? And I don't know, you're probably gonna be like, ugh, but I saw the Tua thing going to Atlanta. And I kind of like that.
They don't have anything out there. They're getting rid of Kirk Cousins and the lefty. What's his name? Penix. He got injured. So like, you don't have a QB room. It's not like he's not going to compete for a starting position out there. Michael Penix Jr. had, and I'm a Penix Jr. fan. It's just when you lose something, it's extremely difficult to get it back. And he had a chance to bring that roster, bring that team. They're young, right? What is it? Bijan Robinson's out there, Drake London, Zacchaeus. We just talked about him. Kyle Pitts. He had a decent year. I understand that like he's not what we all planned him to be, but we can't be hating on how good of a year he actually had as a tight end. Like 88 receptions, 5 touchdowns for 1,000 yards. That's a good season, right? It's not. If he did that year after year, we'd be talking about him being a top 5 tight end. It's just it took till last year for him to do that. So I'm not gonna clown on him. I'm still not gonna draft him in fantasy. I'm gonna stay away from that one. But they don't have a QB room. So yeah, you bring in Tua, see what happens with Michael and his knee. Kirk's out of there. They wasted that money. Maybe even you draft somebody to like have a third player. This is a weak quarterback draft. So like, I don't know what they do. They just bring in Tua and just roll out the ball and see what happens, see who can stay healthy.
You know what that signals to me? That
they already gave up on 27.
They've already given up on Michael Penix.
True.
That signals to me like you do the Tua thing as like, hey, now we have 2 guys that we don't really feel great about. One of them was like Tua at one point was thought of highly. Penix, like we may have made a huge mistake drafting him and signing Kirk Cousins because both of them might be out the door in a year. Let's just see if maybe one of these things stick. It's like throwing shit at the wall and hoping something sticks with Penix and Tua. It's like it signals to me they've given up on Penix in a way. Like he's not their bona fide franchise guy. Maybe they think they can get something out of Tua. I mean, it's like what, like 1 year, like $1 million. It's like nothing. It's like basically
very minimal.
Yeah, it's like the rest.
I mean, he's getting paid $90 million, so like,
yeah, he doesn't care.
He has nothing to worry about in life right now.
Yeah.
Last one, just because it's related to your team, you lose your best receiver in the history of the sport. I mean, the history of the team, man. Michael, I don't remember his name. Mike Evans is going from Tampa to San Fran. How you feel about that?
I have a thing behind me, but in my little bookshelf, I have a Mike Evans Tampa Bay helmet signed. He's the best wide receiver we've ever had. I'm happy, hoping for his success. My first comment is that I think he found the perfect team in San Francisco because it's a team that's always injured. Their wide receivers are always hurt, running backs always hurt, and he's another player who's always hurt. So I think it's a marriage made in heaven for him to be there.
He's gonna get you 1,000 yards though.
If his damn hamstrings hold up, it's always the hamstring. But no, all jokes aside, why not for the 49ers? I think that the writing was on the wall with the Bucs. when they drafted a wide receiver in the first round this past draft. Like it was kind of already known. Like they re-signed Godwin, they drafted a wide receiver with a top pick. They already had another highly drafted wide receiver. So coming out of the draft last year, the talk was like, why are the Bucs drafting another wide receiver? Like they don't need that. It's an embarrassment of riches. But it was because they had no intention of re-signing Mike Evans. And I think it's the right move for a team that's not going to try to win this next year. I'm sure the Bucs in their mind think they'll try to win next year, but let's be honest about this thing. And Mike Evans, like, yeah, he's barely hanging on like in his career. He's had a great career.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not to disparage his career, but he's old and he's had a lot of injuries. This is a great like last gasp for the 49ers with their guys. Like, hey, can you put it together for 1 year and just win a Super Bowl? So like, I get it. What do you think?
It's the last hurrah for his career.
Yeah.
You get a chance to win a Super Bowl. San Francisco is always going to be in the running for it, no matter who they roll out there as quarterback. Like they just happen to be decent. They either make the NFC. I know they didn't do it last year, but like there was like we ran the running joke that I had in the middle of the season was the 49ers either miss the playoffs or they go to the NFC Championship. And that was their pattern for like the last 8 years. And last year they missed the playoffs.
They made the playoffs.
Last year they missed the playoffs.
They got blown out by the Seahawks, remember?
There we go. Yes. So they broke the pattern, but like it's still you got to trust Shanahan, right? Whatever he throws out there as a coach. So I'm not mad at it.
Trying to figure out what that was.
Your water bottle. Your water bottle.
Yeah. Was there any trades you wanted? Because you mentioned trades as well.
Just rat-a-tat-tat so we can get through it. Things that are important. David Montgomery went to the Texans. Didn't like that trade at all. They gave up two draft picks and a player. Stupid when they gave up an offensive lineman too. I mentioned that. I was like, when you need offensive linemen and your quarterback is getting.
Was this the guy they sent out was Tunsil?
No. They Juice Scruggs.
Okay, my bad.
No idea who the hell it is. But essentially, when you need linemen, you can't get rid of linemen. Like there are videos where your quarterback is taking the snap, and as soon as he says "hut," within 0.2 seconds, he's getting sacked. Like he doesn't have enough time to even turn around and hand the ball off. So like I understand. What's the quarterback's name now? Why am I tripping?
DJ Stroud.
DJ Stroud. I'm terrible names.
Have we been this far removed from the NFL season?
Football, yes. But Stroud didn't have the greatest of years. When you get rid of offensive linemen, it's just going to make it harder. So I'm hoping they go hard in the draft. But rat-a-tat-tat, like I mentioned, Trent McDuffie, starting corner for the Chiefs. He's out of there. He's going into LA. So the Rams are retooling. You know that they pride themselves on defense, bring in a shutdown like corner. I don't think he was as good post the Super Bowl, but shutdown like in that defensive scheme around all those players like Jared Verse. I think he could shine again. DJ Moore went to the Bills. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? Everybody keeps saying that. Yeah, but like how much? I'm gonna get on the Josh Allen hate train because like this is not all. I don't want to go down that route, but like year after year after year after year, we keep seeing them bring in something and it's not working out. At some point, you got to point the finger at Josh and be like, "You're just not good." He's good. I'm not gonna say he's not, but they keep throwing so much shit at him for wide receivers and running backs, and he's still doing the same thing, coming up short and having turnovers. So here's the last one. Look at this piece and be like, DJ Moore wasn't number one when he was in Chicago. I know Rome was there, but you still went to DJ in clutch time. We saw it from Caleb Williams last year. He was the number one when he was in Carolina, whether it was Bryce or it was Darnold or it was your boy that's in Tampa. They were finding DJ Baker Mayfield. They were finding DJ Moore. Josh Allen, now you have a number one again. Like, if this doesn't work out, I'm gonna get sick and tired of people saying he needs help because he has the help. Make the wide receiver. Brady made Julian Edelman and all these random wide receivers good because of how talented he is, not because of the wide receivers' talent.
Clip that,
please.
We love a good Josh Allen haterade rant.
Oh my goodness, because I love the guy, but like enough is enough. And here's another piece. But rat-a-tat-tat again. I'll leave the last one. Michael Pittman went to the Steelers. Can't replace what they've lost. Obviously, they brought in DK Metcalf. Nobody knows. Nobody cares. It might be Aaron Rodgers. Who knows if he's coming back for a 20th season? Minka Fitzpatrick, another move. He keeps getting traded, but he went to the Jets. No idea what the hell the Jets are doing as a franchise or an organization, bringing in a safety.
What the hell?
Huh? Essentially, that's where his career goes to die. We saw this happen with an LSU defensive back, and he went to the Jets, and then it became nothing after. So, unfortunately, that's where your career goes to die. And then the last two, probably the most important, are the first one is Rashawn Gary is going to the Cowboys from the Packers. The Packers missed out. Yeah, the Packers and the Cowboys missed out on Max Crosby, who is now in Baltimore. And that's the reason why they went after Rashawn Gary. So does Max Crosby to the Ravens make them a Super Bowl contender? To remain to be seen. With that, they got to stay healthy. That entire team was injured. Listen to me when I say this. That entire team was injured last year. It makes it their defense better, which was a historically bad defense. One player does not change that. They still have holes to fill. It helps them. But they were very injured, and they were the league's one of the worst defenses in the history of the league. Well, so I can't say insert Max Crosby and it makes them that much better.
This is where I'm going to push back on that thought process. Going into last year, let's just wipe our minds of what we saw last year at the Ravens. Okay, poof, gone. Recollection of last year is gone. Going into last year, would you say that the Ravens are a Super Bowl contender team?
Yes.
Okay, now you're adding Max Crosby to that team. If I told you going to last year, you have the Ravens and you're adding Max Crosby, how jazzed would you be about the Ravens right now?
Hyped. Absolutely hyped.
I think it was a year from hell, man. Like it's sometimes you lose your quarterback for
but what? That's so tough though. Yes, I get what you're saying. I get what you get. You lose your quarterback for 50% of the season.
You lose half of your defense for 50% of your season. Of course it's going to look bad.
But injuries are injuries. They're part of the game. You got a new coach. You bring in Max. You bring in back Lamar, Derek, Zay, majority of your wide receivers. They may even go get one in the draft. I would imagine they're going to focus on a wide receiver so they're not relying on a 5'10 Zay Flowers. Like I would imagine they go that route. We will see. When you have injuries, it's not like they just magically go away. It's what happened to the 49ers every single year. They get injured, and you just got to hope that they are healthy come playoff time.
They better go get a running back too in the draft. Just saying.
They might need one. Justice Hill ain't a hell of a backup anymore. And Derek is Father Time might catch up to him. 240-pound running back, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on. One day in free agency. Lots of moves going on.
Hopping off. People got paid though, so good for them.
I love to see that. All right, let's talk some hoops and get out of here. All right, two things we want to talk about basketball wise. First, I think the night we recorded was not when Tatum returned, but last week he came back on Friday versus the Mavs. So he's played 2 games against the Mavs and against the Cavs yesterday on Sunday. Celtics went 2-0 in those games. Celtics look like a fucking wagon right now. 2 in the East. Yeah. And they're on the heels of the Pistons for the 1 seed, which is crazy to think before the season.
Insane.
My initial thoughts on Tatum so far is he clearly is not Jason Tatum. Like he's not MVP level Jason Tatum. That's not expected. He's 9 months removed from tearing his Achilles, popping that thing during the semifinals. But I would say this. I am pleasantly surprised at how good he looks for being that not far removed from the injury. He's moving okay. Like the shot's not really there right now. You're going to expect some rust. He doesn't look like an aggressive take over the game type of guy. But like this Celtics team was already a wagon without him. Like they were rallying off wins. And now Jason Tatum stepping into the starting lineup, replacing Shireman. I think it's Baylor Shireman in their starting 5. And yeah, Tatum, while he's not Jason Tatum right now, he can do everything Shireman was doing it and then some. Right. And the one thing I was also wondering was like, all right, what type of minutes restriction are they going to be putting on this guy? He played like 28 minutes last game. Like by the time he'll be hitting 33 minutes a game. So like, I think this is huge for the Celtics. And the other thing is like, the another thing I was worried about was like, all right, when you introduce Jason Tatum to this kind of new offense, and I say new because like it has been flowing through Jaylen Brown. You've been seeing a lot more of Derek White. You've been seeing a lot more of Peyton Pritchard this year. like, would it interrupt these other guys? And to my surprise, and I wouldn't say surprise, but like to my, I'm happy to see this for the Celtics. Like Tatum seems like he's cool just being like, all right, I'm here. And he said, he's like, I'm cool just kind of like not blowing up what they've been doing, but he's actually implementing that on the court. Like it doesn't look like he's trying to do too much. He's kind of staying within the flow of the offense. He's almost being like a super role player right now, which is like awesome for a team that's already been really good in this regular season. Have you caught any of the first two games of Tatum?
I have. Only pushback that I would give you is you're going to see a distribution of shots change for Derek White. It's just part of it. Tatum has been more facilitating. I know he's creeping up on a triple double on I think the game against the Cavs.
Yeah.
With 10 assists, like he's pretty good. Tatum looks good. I'll give you that. If there is a team that, and you don't want to wish injury on anybody, but if there is a team that like you could come back to from a injury like he had last year, it's the Boston Celtics because of their style of play. They're a paced space, throw up as many threes as you possibly can. Look, 2 weeks ago, they broke the record for the highest percentage of field goals that went in both twos and threes, like in the history of the game. So like they're going to shoot the ball. Tatum has 32 shots in 2 games. So like he's going back to a team that is known for just chucking up shots. He's not expected to ISO. He's not, well, he can, but he's not expected to carry like Jalen Brunson is expected to carry. He's not expected to carry like a Donovan Mitchell is, right? Like they are the ones. Boston has Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. They have a bunch of guys that on any given night can go off for 30. Peyton Pritchard has I think a 40-point game this season. So like I think Peyton Pritchard and Derek White had 40 points in one game together this season. I think that was this year. So like they have players on their team that like, all right, this is your night, you can go off. All right, this is your night, you can go off. So there isn't as much pressure for him to be at 100%. And he's rolling into a great situation. You're just going to see more of like certain shots that Derek White is used to getting, not getting because the ball will be in Tatum's hands. Peyton Pritchard doesn't care. That brother comes off the bench and he's chucking because he's playing against the twos. Like that's just the way that his game is. But White being in the starting lineup, obviously when you were saying, what was that, Braverman? Is that his name?
Baylor Shireman.
When Shireman was on the court, well, obviously you're going to cater towards, Derek White as opposed to Shireman. When Tatum's on the court, it's going to go towards Tatum. So like, I think that's the only difference that you'll see is a little bit less shots taken by Derek White, but it could be one night where, you see Tatum drop down to 8 to 10 shots and then Derek White jumps up to that 18. But the last 2 games that he played, he's chucking up 16, 17 shots a game.
Yeah, I mean, like right now it's a bit problematic a little. I mean, they won the 2 games, but obviously as he's shaking off rust, like the efficiency is not there.
Oh yeah, I don't care about that.
The 16 shots he's taking a game, like once we get into the playoffs, like you would assume that some of that regresses back to the mean where like he's hitting a higher percentage of his shots, so it's not as problematic. And I do think that's a good point that you made about like their style of play. And now I'm thinking back to when I watched the Cavs game. It's like we didn't see a lot of like, hey, give Jason Tatum the ball. I'm going to do a little ISO and try to get to my spot, get fouled. It was more like he's playing off the ball. Maybe he's like cutting and getting the ball on a drive or, getting to the rim in that sort of nature, not just taking one-on-one. So like it does make it a little easier. If you think about another team and the guy who returned the same time more or less than Tatum and Giannis, it's like, yeah, granted Giannis didn't have an Achilles tear. Like he'd had the recurring calf issues, but what you're going to ask Giannis to do on a night in and out basis is just show off your freak athleticism and attack. And with the Celtics, to your point, right, their style of play allows Tatum to kind of play higher minutes, but kind of ease himself back in physically where he's not going to demand so much on his body. And if you do need a bucket, like someone to get to the rim, like Jaylen Brown has no problem with that, or at least attempting to do that.
Yeah, so they look good. I hate saying it as a Laker fan, but like they look good. That team isn't going to miss a beat. The fact that they were able to sustain the 2 to 3 seed for majority of the season, and now they're on the heels of the Pistons for the 1 seed. That's incredible. Good for them. Injuries usually derail a team, and they were able to stay. They were able to show why they won the championship last year.
I've been like hesitant to say this team can make the finals all year, but the Detroit Pistons are showing some weakness right
What
now.
is going on?
I think people have found out the Pistons a little bit, right? Their issue, and I don't like their coach. Like I know Bickerstaff is his favorite for the coach of the year, but I don't feel like Bickerstaff really knows what he's doing. Um, their biggest issue is like spacing, right? Because like the way they want to play, Cade is a phenomenal athlete, and I know we're talking about a different team right now, but like Cade's a phenomenal athlete, and his greatest strength is, hey, I'm basically a 6'8" point guard. Like, get me to the rim, and I will generate fouls. I will get buckets against smaller point guards. Cade's not a great shooter, right? He can shoot, but he's not a feared shooter. Guys are going to go under screens. Jalen Duren is not a stretch five, and their third probably most talented player. Trying to think who else on the team, but their most talented player might be Asar Thompson, and they just won't play the man because he can't shoot. They just don't have enough shooting. I think teams are really making the Pistons pay for their lack of shooting. So, like, I can see why they're falling. And then around the Celtics, like the Knicks are heating up a little bit. I mean, I know they lost to the Lakers on Sunday, but the Knicks have been looking a little better recently. There's like not a huge threat to the Celtics. The Celtics just beat the Cavs. Like, who is that team that you're looking at the East that's saying, "Oh my God, like they're going to make the finals"? It's nobody. And like Celtics have that championship pedigree. They're getting better. They have the coach of the year, in my opinion, Joe Mazzulla. Like, why not this team make it to the finals? Do I think they'll win the finals against the Western Conference team? Absolutely not. But like, could they make it? And who knows what the hell happens when you get to a 7-game series? Maybe.
I think the loss and then the reinsertment of Isaiah Stewart changed the dynamic of this team. I think that 7-game suspension did more damage internally for other people to have to either step up or have to regress by him not being on the court. And when he's returned, I think they're 1-4 since. Like, they were on a run. They were on a serious run. At one point they had like 12 straight wins, something like that. Like they were cooking, right? That suspension happens, changes the entire team. They got people when they're playing the Brooklyn Nets, they got people like, we can sit out this game and we don't need to play. They get smacked, right? I know it's a 2-point game, but like they got beat by the Nets. It's not a game that you need to lose no matter who's not on the court. Then you bring back everybody, be like, oh, we got this. We got it on the road. And then the Heat let Tyler Hero go off. You know what I'm saying? Like they are trying to find themselves, and this is the wrong time for you to find yourself towards the end of the season when you had an identity of being bruisers, hurting people in the paint with Jaden Duran, Cade Cunningham, so on and so forth. Now we got to deal with Isaiah Stewart coming back and trying to find the groove that you guys had for the last 2 months. And it is not the right time for that when you have a team that is surging because they're getting, and here he is, they got a team that's surging, and that's Boston. And yes, we didn't even talk about it, but like that's the series tomorrow is C's versus Spurs. That's the one that is going to determine the way that a lot of the NBA looks. Are we going to get the Spurs? And, for those that aren't watching, or at least not listening, here's the comment that was made by Tahi. Appreciate you being in here. I saw you too, Pop, where we just already talked about the Raiders, so I wasn't going to go back to it. But yes, the NBA Finals preview tomorrow by Tahi is the Celtics and the Spurs. Like, that is going to be, you're going to see if the Spurs are really like that as the number 1 seed on prime time, or if the C's are like, oh my goodness, that's the best team in the East with the way that the game turns out tomorrow.
Well, I mean, it's a great time to transition and talk about the Spurs.
We're not going to talk about March Madness. You know that, right? Because I got to go in 10.
No, we're not. We're going to talk about the Spurs and get out of here.
Cool.
They just downed the Rockets in an embarrassing fashion. Yeah,
so bad.
Today or Saturday, 145, 120. This is a team we're talking about in the Spurs that in the last 16 games they won 15 out of 16. They didn't lose in the month of February. They are scary. And do you know the nickname of their tandem? I learned today of Wemby and Castle. They call them Area 51. Area 51. Okay.
I thought the Eiffel Castle would be dope. Is the Eiffel Tower in France?
Yeah. That's kind of cool.
Eiffel Castle would be dope. I just made that up too, by the way. I'm not gonna say Clifton, but like they call themselves that too.
This Spurs team, I know last time we talked to NBA, you kind of poo-pooed the idea of the Spurs being a championship contender, but it sounds like you have changed your tune on that?
I have, because, and I know I talked about this off. We might have even talked this at the beginning of the show. I can't remember if it was off or at the beginning. So we clowned Pat Beverly a couple years ago for crying, winning a play-in game, right? Like, it's a play-in, and he's crying, whipping his towel around, throwing it in the crowd, so on and so forth. Because he's like 40 years old, right? Like, you've had plenty of chances for you to make the playoffs, plenty of chances for you to make the finals. He was on those Rockets teams that had a chance to get to the finals. Like, you had that. This man, Wemby, cried after a regular season win because they had the largest comeback in the history of the team. It's like 27 points down in the fourth quarter. Like, he wants it. Like, he does not like losing. And when you have your best player on the team wanting to win and fighting tooth and nail to win, it just makes everybody around you be like, you know what? We can do this. And you're starting to see that from people like Steph Castle. You're starting to see that from Devin Vassell, who's a castaway. You're starting to see that from Champagnie hitting threes at the top of the key when you're like, who the hell is this guy? Right? And then you got to deal with Keldon Johnson off the bench and Dylan Harper, who's an automatic 12 points. Like, when Harper gets on the court, he's going to score 12 every single night. This team is energetic, and they're young and stupid, which means you don't know what's going to happen with them. They're unpredictable, and that is extremely difficult to play against when you have no idea what they're going to do.
Yeah, I mean, this might be the best defense in the NBA. And I say that because they have the best defensive player of the year in Victor Wembanyama. They have guards who can lock down. And I think
guards.
There was a play the other night against the Clippers that was shown as a highlight where Wemby simultaneously blocked the three, like defended the 3-point line and defended the paint at the same time. He went out to the 3-point line to defend a Nick Batum shot. Batum threw the pass inside the paint, and the guy under the basket was scared shitless because just Wemby exists in the world and would not take the shot. Like, this is a generational he's the greatest defender of all time, Victor Wembanyama, because the fear he instills on that court. Like, some defenders, if you're in the post and you're matched up against them, it's like, oh shit, this guy, I don't think I can get a shot over this guy. Wemby's a different animal where, like, you don't even see him, and that scares the living hell out of you because he is lurking at all points in time. Defensively, this team has what it takes to win a championship. The question has always been offensively. Can Wemby up his game? Because can these other guys up their game? But I feel like what you said with Wemby and his mentality, this winner's mentality, where he will win every game no matter if it's in, he wants to win every game no matter if it's in April, whether it's in October, December, or March, or the finals. Every game matters to this man, and I think they can hold it down defensively, and I think that with him, and they'll have enough offense with Fox and some other guys, they can inspire enough to be not only a championship contender, but like to anyone, the Thunder, the Nuggets, a difficult 7-game series down the stretch.
1000%. And I wanted to piggyback off of what you were talking about with Wemby without interrupting you. I heard a comment today on one of the talking heads, and I was like, that's incredible that we're talking about this, because he said, we don't have a stat measuring for shots that people don't take because of a defender. And it's like, you have to think about that. Like, you Ben Wallace of the league, you Shaqs, you're going to try and you get blocked and you go, well, I tried. Like you were saying, I'm in the post, I'm going to try. And then you have a Wemby who is like making people be like, maybe I don't take that shot. Like, this three is kind of open, but like if I pull, he's 7'10", he might be able to jump from the bottom of the free throw line to where my shot is leaving my hand and block me. So I'm going to pass out of it. That's not a stat that's tracked, but that is something that like the NBA world now is watching. Be like, he's affecting shots that people haven't even taken yet. Shots that people are thinking about taking and they can't because like he's there. Or like you said, we're thinking he's there, which is just, you go up for a hop step and you go, crap, I'm in the paint. Wemby's down there somewhere for me to think about a layup. Nah, I got to kick this out. Like we're seeing grown men make Ben Simmons, adjustments mid layup to be like, I got to pass out of this because he might block my shit. And it's incredible. A hot take by saying he's the best defensive player in the history of the game already, but I'm not going to be on the side of the fence that says he's not. Like, he's doing shit that nobody has ever seen before.
I stand by my assertion that Victor Wembanyama is the best defensive player we've ever seen in the NBA, solely because he does not influence defense purely by defending someone. He influences an entire team offensively by just standing on a basketball court. And that means something. Like, you think about, you love 2K, right?
Yeah.
He is the definition of that badge defensive anchor. Because when he's on the court, everyone's defensive ability goes up just for him being there, because he creates problems for everyone. And I will say this, 15-1 in the last 16 games. Yep. This Spurs team, we talked about the Celtics on the heels of the Pistons. This Spurs team could finish with the 1 seed in the West. And I will say this, the only thing stopping the Spurs from winning a championship this year, the only thing, one thing, is one man, Nikola Jokic. Because in my opinion, the only team that can really take down the Spurs from the West in the playoffs is the Nuggets, and it's solely because the one kryptonite to what Wemby does is Nikola Jokic, because he is not influenced by his size, and Nikola Jokic welcomes the idea of bringing Wemby down to the post with his big body, because he is calm, cool, collected. He will not be phased.
Well, yeah, I would agree with you if they didn't just lose Jamal Murray.
He's back tonight. He's already back.
I thought, like, though didn't he just get carried off like in a stretcher and like brought to the ambulance? They shot him up and made sure that he's back. There's no way. He got carried off the court like he was Paul Pierce in the finals.
He's on my fantasy
basketball team. I thought he tore everything in his leg.
He's on my fantasy basketball team. I'm like, fuck, he's done for the year. I get the notification, Jamal Murray in tonight. I'm like, let's go.
Well, then that changes everything if that is the case. Yes, the one team out west, it's not Chet. If he lines up against Chet, he will kill him. Like, he has like personal problems against Chet, you betcha, out in OKC. It's not going to be Rudy Gobert, nothing out there. It's most certainly not going to be anything that Houston rolls out. I'm sorry, Alperen Sengun, you're not that guy right now.
Think of the matchups.
I know, I'm going over them. It's not going to be anybody in LA. Like, sorry, like, I know I'm a Lakers fan, but DeAndre ain't doing shit. It is just Nikola Jokic that has a chance of slowing down this team because of his style of play.
And they are the one team
influenced by them.
The Spurs are the one team. The Thunder looks at the playoff bracket and goes, "Please God, no! Please God, no!"
They do not want that matchup.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Do not want that matchup. That lineup between, I want to make sure that I get every single name right, because it's what's caused them so many problems. We talked about Jalen, and we talked about Caruso, right? The two Jalens, Caruso and Shea. And then we look at San Antonio and go, I'll raise you Steph Castle, Devin Vassell, Dylan Harper, Keldon Johnson. We're guarding every single one of you, and you guys already can't shoot. You work in the mid-range. We're making it so we're going to press you 94 feet up the court. And yes, they will give them hell. Love Shea, but they don't want San Antonio come playoff time.
And that's the one team the NBA will be like, stop giving Shea all the foul calls against, because we love Wemby more.
They will. Yes.
All right. I know you got to bounce. Good show. Let's do it. Let's hit up the closing takes. Get out of here.
Do this.
The show is coming to an end. But first, it's time to get to anything we've missed. It's closing time. One segment, two takes.
Closing takes, chance for me and D to get off one last take before we get out of here. It can be sports, pop culture, it can be whatever we want. D, I'm taking the floor first if you don't mind. Adam Silver, how dare you? The Atlanta Hawks planned a wonderful evening at State Farm Arena, Magic City Night, that was supposed to honor one of their great historic landmarks in the city of Atlanta, Magic City Gentlemen's Club. And the NBA stepped in and they nixed Magic City Night for the Atlanta Hawks. There was going to be T.I., Magic City Wings, Unfortunately, no dancers, but it was going to be a fun, family-friendly night. And Adam Silver, in his biggest mistake in his entire career as commissioner, killed off Magic City night. The NBA said, no way, can't do it, Atlanta Hawks. It's over. I am pissed, D. Are you pissed?
I am if they didn't have Lou Williams involved. Was he a part of it?
Maybe that's why Adam Silver said you can't do it. You need Lou Will.
If Lou Will wasn't involved, then I'm not pissed at all. But yeah, that's kind of trash. That's nobody wants to watch the Hawks.
They were in it for the wings.
Yeah. Like I said, if it was sponsored and brought to you by Lou Williams, I'd be all for it. I'd be thoroughly upset if it wasn't, though. If it's not, then I don't care.
What you got for me, homie?
Mine's not as good, but I was one of those, man, I hope it happened because I would want him to get his ass whooped. Logan Paul versus Lev Bell caught some fire. Did you catch the wind of this one?
I saw some clip where like the WWE said that he couldn't do it.
Yeah, all publicity. I was ready for it because Lev Bell's doing his, I don't know if you saw it, but he's doing his thing with boxing. The brother looks big, right? And there was like some talk where Logan Paul put out a social media post and then Lev Bell was like, you won't see me in the ring. And then obviously his response, I'll definitely see it. And then Logan Paul does this weird Instagram thing where like he's in the middle of streaming and then Hunter Hearst Helmsley, also known as Triple H, calls him in the middle of him streaming to be like, hey, man, wouldn't be good for the WWE for you to box Lev Bell. So contract-wise, I can't let you do it. And, of course, Logan Paul's like, hey, man, look, I tried to do it. I wanted to box him. And I can't do it. Contract is there. So it's like, look, man, break the damn contract. Go get your ass whooped. Your brother already got his teeth knocked out. Broken jaw. I would love to see. I know it was Anthony Johnson that did it. One of the best knockouts. Anthony Joshua. One of the best knockouts in the history of the sport I've ever seen. So I would absolutely love to see Lev Bell do the exact same thing to Logan Paul. But we'll see. I'm going to keep tabs on that one if it becomes an actual match.
I don't think I gave you the wrong name. Wasn't that Tank guy?
No, it's Anthony Joshua is the one that knocked out
okay.
The other Paul, not Logan Paul.
Okay.
His name. The big knockout. Anthony Joshua did it, yes.
Okay, yeah. All right. So we were right.
That was a hell of a knockout. I wish we could see that again. We should, like mid-punch broke his, like, I think his chin hit his shoulder. Like, I don't even think it's physically possible unless you get punched like that.
Would you want to box? Like, not us.
Not a chance.
Do you have any interest in that?
No.
Yeah, no.
Not a chance. No, and so, like, people posed this question before a while ago. It was years ago. Like, would you take, in his prime, would you take a Mike Tyson right hook for $10 million? And I was like, no. Because I don't know if you might not be able to enjoy that 10 million. My family would be taken care of, but like they'd probably be like, we'd rather have you.
Go ahead, dude.
Yeah, like they run it up, right? Like they get everything they wanted for 10 mil. But like I would hope they're like, we'd rather have you, not the money.
Throw out.
But no, I'm not taking a punch from.
Would Chad ever do that? Would you take a punch from Mike Tyson for 10 mil? I'm curious.
If you would, you're lying. I don't care what anybody says. You're not that tough. There are human beings that trained in the sport of boxing that took that punch and can't walk straight right now. Let alone somebody that's like, hey, I'm gearing up for just this one punch to try to knock you. Yeah, CT, I'm with you. Absolutely not. I don't think there's enough money in this world for me to take that punch. I really don't. Like, you could be a billionaire. It doesn't matter. I could die. I could literally die from this one punch.
It's Mike. You know he's unpredictable. He might give you a couple of them just for funsies.
Yeah, on your way down. He hits you once and on your way down, he ain't one for good measure. Like he does one of those. Like, I'm good.
I'm good. Good show. Sorry that we ran a little late, D. Hopefully it doesn't screw you up for later.
We're good, man. I'll be out on time. We should be good. So let's get up out of here though.
All right.
Mike sounds great, right?
You sound lovely.
Shouts to those that help me buy the gear, baby, because like I said, all proceeds go to making sure that this equipment sounds great for y'all. So I appreciate it. Please, more than anything, thank you for showing up today. Big Pop, new chatter in the chat. Appreciate you being here. He was a little bit late talking about the Raiders. We did give the Raiders some love, what they tried to do in free agency. I know Raiders Max Crosby.
That's rough.
He is a Raiders fan, unfortunately. It's tough. But, I mean, he's better than a Broncos fan. Joking. Ty, he is here. We love that he's back here talking C's or Broncos. So appreciate you being here. Anybody else that wants to find us live, you can find us on Twitch. You can find us on Facebook, You can find us on YouTube, whichever's easier for you. Next day, hit us up on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Also, the website's at the bottom, frizzandthegrizz.com. You can find us Tuesday, the next day, to upload what you just watched. Please, please, please make sure to be a friend. Say something nice. You never know what it could do for them. It is almost the springtime. It was 80 degrees out this weekend. I was looking out pools, thinking about going to jump in them. I'm sorry that it's still cold for y'all. Y'all got snow up there. It's not like that down here. Oh, no snow no more?
It was 70 degrees today.
There you go. I'm glad it's all gone for you. We're thinking about going to jump into a pool, though, so we'll see how that goes. Please, please, please make sure to take care of y'all mentals. Please take care of y'all physicals. Take care of y'all chicken and y'all children, and we'll catch y'all on the rebound. Peace.
The Bears are who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.